This is Dave Klein reading for Jessica Howard. For its next adventure, Bethesda is taking its popular Elder Scrolls and Fallout formula into space. Announced back in 2018, Starfield is Bethesda's first new IP in 25 years, and as such, there is a lot of hype surrounding the upcoming project, and perhaps just as many questions. In an attempt to answer at least a few of them and help you keep up to date with what's going on with Starfield, we've compiled everything we know about the game so far. Starfield is confirmed to release on Xbox Series X/S and PC. Game director Todd Howard said being able to focus exclusively on Xbox and PC is in the best interests of Starfield. However, he definitely hears and feels for PlayStation owners who won't be able to play it. You don't ever want to leave people out, right? He said. But at the end of the day, your ability to focus and say, this is the game I want to make, these are the platforms I want to make it on, and being able to really lean in on those is going to make for a better product. Some portion of the Bethesda fanbase continues to believe that Starfield could release on PlayStation, but that seems extremely unlikely given that Microsoft now owns Bethesda. While Starfield was originally scheduled to release on November 11, 2022, the same day that Elder Scrolls V Skyrim did back in 2011, the game has since been delayed. It's now scheduled to come out sometime during the first half of 2023. Back at E3 2018, Bethesda teased Starfield for the first time with a very brief trailer that gives only the barest sense of what it might be like. The trailer shows the sun flaring over a planet before also revealing a space station with a very current technology look. A second later, a rip in space appears that seems to suck everything in. It has the look of a bright Star Trek-like warp field, but it could be anything. A singularity, a wormhole, a space anomaly, or a cool special effect to end your trailer on. At this point, who knows? After a long wait, Bethesda finally unveiled a new trailer for Starfield at E3 2021. It's yet another short glimpse, but it further nails down the look and feel the game will have. The trailer follows an astronaut preparing to lift off from an alien planet. All the while, a monologue plays, discussing the endless frontier of space. During June 2022's Xbox Bethesda Games Showcase, Bethesda gave fans the closer look at Starfield they've been waiting for, with a significant chunk of gameplay and more details regarding the game's size, skill tree, and space exploration. Don't feel like giving it a watch? Don't sweat it. We'll go into everything shown shortly. In November 2021, Bethesda kicked off a new video series for Starfield called Into the Starfield. In this series, game developers, including Todd Howard, discuss the ambitious RPG and reveal new details about what fans can expect. In the debut episode, The Endless Pursuit, Howard, art director Matt Carafano, and studio director Angela Browder talked about how the studio's ambition and passion have shaped the team and what they're hoping to achieve with Starfield. Carafano said Starfield is more grounded and realistic than Skyrim, though at its heart, the two projects share an ambition to give players the freedom to explore.
It's got a more realistic, science-based backing to it, whereas Skyrim is sort of an epic fantasy. This is a more grounded game and a grounded setting about exploration. So I think that gives us a different take on how we make everything.
Howard said the mechanics of Starfield compared to Skyrim are entirely different, though there are some similarities. One of those is how Starfield is presented with a first-person camera with a third-person option, which he believes helps make things seem more believable.
Being able to watch the sunset and nighttime come and just sit there and watch the world go by seems like it's not gameplay, but it is vital to how you feel through the rest of it.
According to Browder, there has to be an emotional trigger that occurs.
I think as time has gone on, we're able to paint an even better picture that triggers that emotional thing.
Also in the video, Howard teased that Starfield has not one, but two step-out moments, referencing the points in past Bethesda games where you leave the starter area and step out into the open world. What those are, he wouldn't say and seemed to want to leave it as a surprise. Bethesda is known for its expansive open-world RPGs, like the Elder Scrolls series and the Fallout series. However, both series' massive worlds pale in comparison to the universe we'll be exploring in Starfield. During June 2022's Xbox Bethesda Games Showcase, Howard confirmed players will be able to visit over 1,000 planets throughout the game. While a handful of these locations are full-fledged cities, like the hub city of New Atlantis, many will be procedurally generated and ripe for exploration. Others, such as the desert moon of Crete, lie somewhere in the middle, with outposts occupied by treacherous space bandits. According to Howard, Starfield is also more of a hardcore RPG than Bethesda's previous work, something made very clear in our first look at Starfield's character creator. While the physical aspect of the game's character creation is pretty par for the course, the wide variety of backgrounds and traits players are able to choose from is impressive. Based on your choices, your character will have their own unique set of talents and flaws that can make your intergalactic adventure truly your own. However, this is not where Starfield's emphasis on customization ends. The game will also allow players to customize the look and performance of their guns and spacecrafts, as well as construct their own outposts. The mechanics for building these outposts seem significantly more complex than those in Fallout 4, allowing for even more personalization and creativity in designing your base. Beyond base building and the usual exploration and combat we've come to expect from Bethesda games, players will also be able to freely fly their own spacecraft and engage in galactic dogfights. Recent gameplay also showed off a lockpicking mechanic and a persuasion mechanic inspired by Oblivion. While we might not know just what Starfield's main campaign entails, thanks to the recent Xbox Bethesda Games showcase, we do have a lot more information regarding its setting. Based on Starfield's first gameplay trailer, the game will be set in the year 2330, long after man conquered the stars. In fact, humans are so well adapted to space travel, they've managed to settle a whopping 50 light-year radius around their own solar system. This area is referred to as the Settled Systems. While you'll also be able to explore seemingly every nook and cranny of these systems, the main hub of Starfield is New Atlantis, capital city of the United Colonies, and home to Constellation, the last group of space explorers. Starfield begins with your character, the Spacefarer, receiving an invitation to join this organization. However, the United Colonies aren't the only spacefaring society. There's also the Freestar Collective, who call Aquila City their home. While these two factions are no longer at war with one another, the end of their conflict is still fresh, and their peace is an uneasy one. In addition to the United Colonies and Freestar Collective, there are also a few other notable groups Bethesda has mentioned: Ryujin Industries, the Crimson Fleet, and House of Varun. As you might be able to infer based on their names, Ryujin Industries is a mega corporation, the Crimson Fleet is a band of space pirates, and House Varun is, well, a religious cult, to put it bluntly. Based on the game's intense focus on role-playing, it seems safe to say you'll be able to join up and or get in all sorts of trouble with these folks. During 2021's Tokyo Game Show, Howard revealed that Starfield has over 150,000 lines of dialogue, more than any Bethesda game before it. While your character will not have voice acting, it seems like just about everyone else will, making for a very immersive experience. We should also mention companion characters make a return in Starfield, with Vasco, the utility robot, confirmed as one of them. Last but certainly not least, Howard also announced the main campaign should take around 30 to 40 hours to complete. To put that into perspective, Fallout 4's main campaign takes around 30 to beat, while Skyrim takes about 25. In September 2020, Bethesda released a statement about how much the acquisition by Microsoft and the release of its new Xbox Series X and S were impacting the work the studio is doing on its games. Howard says, "With each new console cycle, we evolved together. From bringing mods to consoles with Fallout 4 to the latest technologies fueling Xbox Series X/S. These new systems are optimized for the vast worlds we love to create, with generational leaps not just in graphics, but CPU and data streaming as well. It's led to our largest engine overhaul since Oblivion, with all new technologies powering our first new IP in 25 years, Starfield, as well as the Elder Scrolls 6. For years now, Bethesda has powered its games with its creation engine, so this makes it pretty clear that Starfield also uses the creation engine, albeit an overhauled version that takes into account a whole lot of new technology and hardware capabilities." This is a bit of an obvious one, but it bears repeating. With Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda, the publisher announced that new Bethesda games would appear on Xbox Game Pass at release, and that includes Starfield, so you'll have instant access to it on PC and Xbox Series X/S. That said, Starfield isn't currently available for pre-order. That wraps up everything you need to know about Starfield so far. Stay tuned to GameSpot for more on Starfield and everything Bethesda, and I'll see you guys next time.